You know me. That's crazy. I am a serial online dater. Let's get right into it. I'm a serial online dater, and I'm not going to brag. I do all right. I do all right for a bald, broke man. I'm doing better than you'd expect. But I go on a lot of good dates, and even though I haven't met like the one, I've made a lot of friends. I've been to the wedding of someone I met on an online date. Like that's a weird one to explain to everyone at your table. It's like, yeah, But I recently met the worst person I've ever met on an online date, and that's who I have to talk about tonight. So usually I'm really good at like knowing if I'll vibe with someone. You know, I message back and forth, get a feel for them. This person, we messaged back and forth very briefly, so I didn't really get a feel for her. And then she was new to Philly, so she was like, "Hey, you should just show me something cool in Philly. Like, let's not talk on here too long." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, we can do that." And I wasn't excited about it. There was nothing there's nothing really in this profile that jumps out at me. We didn't talk that much. I'm not like feeling it, but I went anyway. And immediately there was no chemistry at all. Immediately it was like such a slog to talk to this person. We had nothing in common. She had just gone to see the Book of Mormon. It was in Philly. And I was like, "Oh, what did you think of that?" And she's like, "I don't agree with religion being represented in media." I'm like, "Well, you probably shouldn't have gone to a show called Book of Mormon, probably. Why did you do that?" So I feel like I just can't even communicate with this woman. Like, we have nothing in common. So my pitch for a date was we were going to do Rittenhouse Square and then walk Schuylkill River Trail. That's a thing I like to do. That's like a good move. And thank you. And so we were in South Philly. I drove us like closer to Center City, and we're walking towards Rittenhouse Square. And I mentioned I was fostering a cat, and I had just taken the cat to its new home that day, and I was telling her about that. And she's like, "Oh, I don't care. I'm allergic to cats." I was like, "All right. I'll let it. People are allergic to cats. That's not your fault." And then she says, "Also, I don't agree with pet ownership. It is a form of slavery." And that opinion, no one has that opinion. What are you talking about? Also, my cats are in my profile. Like, it says cat owner. I have a picture of my cat. Maybe don't go on dates with people who have pets, if that's how you feel. Also, maybe your thing should be that should be the first thing in your profile. So and she tells me that, and I'm like, I don't want to be on this date anymore. There's no reason for us to be here. What am I doing? But I'm too polite to be like, "Hey, you're awful. Can I leave?" Like, I don't know how to communicate that to her. So I just kind of bore with it, went with it for a little bit longer. At one point, we were in the farmer's market at Rittenhouse Square, and we got separated in a crowd. And I was like, "Oh my God, I should just leave." This is my out. If I just walked if I just Jason Bourne my date, that'd be amazing. What a great way to ghost someone, right? But I did not do it. I'm a coward. I'm too polite. I didn't want to be mean to the worst person I've ever met. I don't know. So I just I spent 45 more minutes with her, and I did not enjoy it at all. I'm not being a good date at this point either, because I want to leave. I'm distracted. I'm trying to think of how to get out of it. So we come to the topic we're talking about siblings. I have a very fraught relationship with my sister. It is the last thing I want to talk about with my least favorite person I've ever met. So I'm being very curt about it. I'm trying to change the subject, and we're walking, and she just stops, and she's like, "You know what? Honestly, I don't like you." And I'm just like, "Oh my God, same. Oh my, yes, we don't like each other." It was the most pleasant part of the whole date, just being like, "Oh, this sucks, right? We should get out of here." We shook hands. And I think there's a valuable lesson in there, is just to trust your gut, and you're not for everybody, and everybody's not for you, and that's okay. Thanks a lot, guys.